Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think you'll have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now I know. Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right. When you came to me, oh I knew it's you, yeah, boy. The one to show me now and forever. No, you'll never be alone again. All day, oh yeah, all day. Please stay in my arms, boy. The one to show me if we're together. It don't matter if it rains. All day, oh yeah, all day. As long as you're in my arms, boy.
I am so sorry. I was enjoying a bowl of macaroni and cheese and completely lost track of time. Hubby
Good mac and cheese is good mac and cheese.
It was good mac and cheese. Hubby made mac and cheese, which means a lot of cheese. When you pull up the fork, there's strings of cheese coming out. Oh, it's so good. I very rarely eat it, but it's so good. I said, "Are you cooking something?" He says, "Yeah, I'm making macaroni and cheese for the youngest." I went,
The youngest?
I have some too. Especially since I've hardly eaten anything today. A bowl of cereal and a bologna sandwich today.
I had a bologna sandwich, and then we went out for breakfast to Big Boy.
Ooh, oh, I miss Big Boy breakfast. Do they sell
You're
the
not
breakfast
missing
bars?
much. Yeah, but we went really late, so I mean.
Oh, we used to go before
Getting
school.
late to the buffet is
team.
hit or miss. So I'm not going to say the buffet was, good, bad, whatever. We were late for the buffet, but
yeah, if it was that late, the buffets, we used to hit the buffet before school with me and the football team and a few other people. Football, these guys came back, so much carbs, so much. They eat it all. I always thought my friend Jason was,
and they
like,
burn it all.
I just want some pancakes and coffee.
They burn the carbs, so.
Yes, I did. My friend John, I used to call him Pretty Boy or Vanity Smurf, because every time he walked by a window, he'd check his hair in the reflection. And it was hilarious. And he was on the football team, and he is so small. And I said, I bet I know what position you play. So I said, you're a running back. They give you the ball because they know you're afraid enough to run for your very life. He said, yeah. Oh. I have the world's worst headache today, and I don't think it's a caffeine one. I think it's sinuses.
You don't think it's from the, 30-minute hubby got distracted with many people delaying your caffeine headache?
I'm out of coffee. But I don't think that it's because I didn't have any caffeine today. I don't drink as much caffeine as I used to. I drink about the same amount every day, though. So sometimes I'll do double. I have my big Verde, which is bigger than a Grande, people. A Grande is 20 ounces and a Verde is 35, I think.
I think I stop around 20 to 24 ounces, depending on how much I pour into my morning cup.
But of course, that's not all coffee in mine, mostly, but I have half and half and caramel syrup in it. That skinny syrup was a great find. that salted caramel skinny syrup. I'm telling you, ooh-wee baby, it's delicious. So what you working on today?
I was trying to color a bunch of loop-de-loop weirdness, but
Is it getting out of hand?
well, I just tapped one of the boxes and it colored all of them.
Oops.
Show.
So I'm really sorry. Hubby actually came in and said, "Are we having a show? Are we having home?" Oh, I said, "Oh shit." Yeah, I was planning on it.
Murdo said the same thing, and then it threw me off a little bit because I was in the green room and it was a black screen, and I'm used to having whatever show is, the background.
It's because I
And then
wasn't
it
here.
said Cards Against Humanity, and I'm like,
I was switching it.
trust the process. Trust the process.
Trust the process. No, like the other day, we were playing something. I can't remember what we were playing, and I played Gaming with Vixie intro instead of Mario Kart intro or something like that. And oh my god, that was a mess the other day. I was like, okay, I might need a break.
Yeah, that was Mario Kart last Sunday.
Was it? I played intro. Gaming with Vixie intro.
Well, I didn't know because I was in bed.
I know. Are you gonna play tonight?
To be determined.
There's a lot of people who aren't going to be here tonight.
To be determined.
I think everybody's getting their new hats on and trying to figure out what's going on. We're in that turn of the season thing. Everyone's even if you don't have kids, 'cause a lot of us have kids going back to school, but even if you don't have kids, it seems like everybody's schedules are getting different. There's a lot of change going on. Everybody's
I'm trying to get them back used to going to bed early. I just ripped the unicorn tail off. Whoopsie. Good thing they were on clearance. Want a unicorn tail?
No, thank you. We started it a week before trying to get them to go to bed early and by getting them up early. Didn't work as well.
Well, see, that doesn't that means nothing because they get up at 20 to 5 every morning to go to daycare. But and they don't always go back to sleep at my mother's house. JB, that's a bean.
Oh, Myrtle, that spot I made in Minecraft by the amethyst. It's called Amethyst Junction. I put up a sign because I thought we should start having waypoints so we know, so I don't get lost. And so if I say I'm at Amethyst Junction, because we already got the 2 torch towers. Mama, did you do that to the?
It wasn't intentional. It
was an accident. It is so freaking hot here today. I can't believe it. That might be part of my headache too. I don't know. Oh, my mom wanted me to find zucchini. I don't make zucchini much down here because the zucchinis I'm used to are the one. I didn't even know that the zucchinis the zucchinis in our stores are this long. They're smaller than a cucumber. And I didn't realize those were zucchinis. I thought it was just an odd vegetable like okra. So, yeah, I'm used to them being at least as big as my forearm, if not bigger. So she's up in Michigan. She just got 2 huge zucchinis. So she's making a lot of zucchini bread. And we have this, it's a sheet cake. It's a chocolate zucchini cake. And it's so good. And it's like a hot fudge frosting that you pour over and then it cools off. And oh my God, it is so good. I don't know where the recipe is. I probably never copied it down because I won't spend that much money on zucchini. We used to get them free in Michigan. Those huge ones were free.
I'm going to be getting zucchini very shortly, and I asked the gentleman, I said, I like zucchini either way. So whatever you bring to me, I'm going to be very grateful for.
Oh, if it was free,
But
yeah.
is it the small zucchini or is it the And he goes, it's a yes. My grandmother has diverticulitis and cannot loves zucchini and squash, but cannot have the seeds, and the seeds in the tiny ones are a bitch. You end
Well,
up
and then
getting rid
she
of
said
half
she was
the
gonna
zucchini.
dredge some in cornmeal and fry it up, and I said, "Ooh, patty pan! I miss patty pan. They don't sell it down here. Nobody sells it down here." And if y'all don't know what patty pan is, it's this squash that looks like a big white flower. It's about this big, and they're about this big.
I haven't seen that one.
It's called patty pan, and I love it. I think
Yeah.
we used to get them from the Amish. I think we grew them too, though.
I've seen a lot of interesting things, but I've never seen one of those.
It doesn't have seeds in it. Well, it does, but not like they have a couple seeds in them when you slice it. There's a couple seeds in a slice, and you just pull them out. They're
Hmm.
bigger than pumpkin seeds, but they don't have all that soft stuff around it like zucchinis. So it's very firm. So if you dredge that in some cornmeal and fry it up in a pan with butter,
I'm
just
just gonna
so
fry it, or
delicious.
I'm gonna bake some zucchini for Grandma because she
Yeah.
loves this stuff. And
My set printed fine, but the logo and the numbers did not print clearly because the line's too thin. They're so cute. They come in a variety of colors. You never had a squash? I like peanut squash. I like acorn squash probably the best. It's got a really nice nutty flavor and it looks like an acorn. And
there's a lot of different versions.
yeah, and they all taste different too. I'm not big on spaghetti squash. I have tried it a whole bunch of different ways. I don't think it doesn't taste like anything to me and the texture's wicked weird.
I tried to make some spaghetti squash because there was a chicken spaghetti recipe where you slice the spaghetti squash and then you swirl all the stuff around and it kind of makes a spaghetti bowl, and
Hmm.
I don't know what was wrong with my spaghetti squash, but that stuff never loosened up
Mm.
at all. Mm-mm. And I did what
Peanut
you're
squash is
supposed to.
pretty
I
good, but
salted
it
it
doesn't have
and
as
I
much
flipped
flavor.
it and I baked it and I touched it and then I baked it and I touched it and I'm like,
Yeah.
so I boiled some noodles and had my chicken spaghetti over noodles.
Yeah, that's what I would have done too. There's quite a few gourds that I like. I do not care for summer squash, which is the little yellow ones that go with that people eat with the zucchini all the time. I'm not a fan. I don't like them. I don't know what it is, but I don't like them. You like summer squash cooked down in some butter with onions and see, I think I'd have a texture issue with that one.
Butternut squash.
Butternut squash
Acorn's
is
good.
good. Acorn is like one of my favorites. Unfortunately, they're not ripe enough down here. Every time I see them, I'm like, that is too green and it won't ripen up enough before it starts getting bad because of the sizes of them. So every now and then around Thanksgiving, I can find one.
I was going to say they're probably not going to be good to go by the time your mom and stepdad come back down
Mm-mm.
to grab a couple from Michigan on their way down.
She potted some what we used to call leftover plants. The farmers leave them on the side of the road after they plant their fields, and she planted. So it was kind of like guess she bought them in these big um, red bucket barrel things that you water horses and cattle in. And one of them's definitely cantaloupe. I looked at it, I said, that's cantaloupe. She said, I figured it was a melon. I said, I can tell. Cantaloupe has a very distinct look to it.
I bought some strawberries and some blueberries and some raspberries
I
and a
love
couple of
berries.
vegetables, and I'm going to attempt to eat a little healthier this week.
Well, that's good.
I'll let you know on Thursday if we succeeded or not when I take out the trash.
I buy those little cups of vegetables instead of canned vegetables because I'm the only one who really eats vegetables.
Well, I got the carrots in the little 4-packs, the little, mini throw
Mhm.
it in your lunchbox thing. So I think that'll stay a little fresher than buying the big bag and opening it up and all of that. So,
Mhm.
and then I bought some little cucumbers, some celery, stuff that lasts a while.
Yeah. Unfortunately, my kid who does eat them sometimes will eat carrots, sometimes. He does like apples though. So sometimes I buy apple slices because some of the full apples, the apple bags are really expensive. It's
I did buy
crazy.
apple slices, but I got caramel in the cupboard, so
I have little packs of Jif, the little to go packs of Jif that I throw in his. They're good
I
for
made ants on a
crackers.
log today.
Oh, I like those.
I had extra celery that wouldn't fit into my airtight container because I am trying to, keep it as fresh as I can for as long as I can.
Right.
But I had some stuff that wouldn't fit in my little container, so I peanut butter and raisins.
Yummy.
That box of raisins has been open a little longer than I'd prefer.
It happens to me sometimes too. It gets like pushed to the back, right? I'll go through like a stint where I want raisins, like a handful of raisins every now and then. One thing I like that's odd to most people is I like to cut apple slices, then cut them again, then I mix them in a mixer with strawberry ice cream. I call it strawberry apple smoothie. It sounds good. About
Apple's got
$8
a lot
for a
of really
3 pound
good
bag of
nutrients in them.
Honey Crisp apples right now. That is crazy expensive.
And Honey Crisp are one of the best ones.
No, I don't
I
care.
love the Honey
They're
Crisp.
sweet. There's too
I
much
like a
sugar in
sweet
them.
apple.
I like Macintosh, which are little and tart, and
And bruise like nobody's
I
business.
know, but I love them. And I used to be able to get them for cheap, like a few bucks for a huge 10-pound bag.
No more.
No more. I can't hardly find them anymore. I used to eat spies all the time when I lived in Michigan, but nobody has spy trees down here.
I want to take the kids to the apple orchard this year.
Have them pick apples.
Pick apples, get some fresh donuts.
I like apple cider. I hate apple juice, but I love apple cider. And we do not have apple cider. It says apple cider in that is not apple cider in my grocery stores. I know because we used to make apple cider. It doesn't have the texture or the flavor or that little bite in the back of your teeth.
And milk isn't milk either, so
No, it's white water. Somebody said you should drink skim milk. I said I already do. It's called whole milk. You all don't even understand what I grew up drinking or cooking with. You got to figure out like stuff when you're cooking. Like you have to add a little more oils and stuff to your stuff because it's not in there.
I've never had straight from the cow milk, but yeah, I grew up with enough family members who did that.
Oh, I would go out in the morning and fill the pitchers out of the milk tank. And we'd
I
go
mean,
through like 3 gallons a day without fail. But there was a lot of us.
we got lactose issues in this house, so we have a gallon that lasts an entire week.
I love apple pie. I like Dutch apple pie too a lot.
My apple pie comes in a mason jar.
Moonshine.
That's some good shit. That is some good shit.
I do like apple pie though a lot. It's like one of my that apple pie and cherry pie are were my go-tos for a long time till I didn't want to bake anymore.
I actually like both sides. The mason jar as well as the
So you said mason
bake.
jar. It took me a second because I bake cakes in mason jar.
My kids like to bake things in coffee cups and then leave them.
Oh, you mean that thing where you put it in the cup with a cup of water and then you put it in the microwave?
Yes.
Those are disgusting. I tried it.
They're 11 and 8, and
They
you
think
do you, boo boo, but
me.
clean up after yourself. Because I'm tired of cleaning up your cement mixers.
Yeah, I'm the only one in the house who really eats veggies. Well, hubby eats sandwich veggies and salads, but
I
regular.
had a bologna sandwich with cucumbers.
I had bologna sandwich with bologna.
I looked at the lunch meat and I'm like, I want bologna this week. Just maybe I'll remember to make a sandwich for work. I used to like my veggies stuffed in a smoothie every morning.
Rabbit said he put carrots in his chocolate smoothie and it tasted like carrot cake.
I never did carrots. I did spinach and kale
Ooh, I
in
love chicken
my
thighs.
protein smoothie that I would do. I much preferred the spinach over the kale because the kale has a very dirt flavor.
It's sharper too.
But
You're supposed to say earthy. It has earthy tones.
dirt. I was not the one who made mud pies, but I'll stick your dirt greens in my smoothies.
I like chicken salad to have fruits and vegetables in it. Onions, celery, um, grapes, and
Cranberries or grapes?
apples. Grapes. Or raisins. I like the plump, like trio mix raisins. Or cherries. I love cherries.
My aunt, when she came over to this country, because as part of their marriage visa, one of
Hmm.
them had to be working at all times.
Hmm.
So he had a job here while she flew into California, got a job with some family members at a vineyard pulling grapes for wine and raisins.
Hmm.
And then he flew out to California. They got hitched. She stayed out there while he come back here to get, situated for work again. And I've never had raisins so good in my entire life
Hmm.
as those ones that came in that she made while she was in California.
Hmm. And we had a vineyard of the thing, and basically it was all leftover vines. So when they planted them, this was way before I was born. When they planted them, they didn't know what kind they were planting. They were just planting rows, and sprinkled through were some champagne grapes, and they were delicious. I bought champagne grapes about a year ago from the store, thinking, "Oh, that I'll splurge a little." That sounds really. They were terrible.
There was probably a little bit of cross pollination going on too, with all the rows
Probably.
being close together. And
I loved they were so tiny and you popped in your mouth with a little sweetness and it was so good. But yeah,
I
that
don't
was
know if
always
they,
fun.
I don't know if they still do them, but they had grapples where they crossed a grape and an apple.
Oh yeah, I heard about those.
They were good.
The cotton candy apples too.
That's just not okay.
I never tried one. I saw them.
Notifications from Google.
Dun dun dun.
Now they want to keep my secure information secure.
Like the other day when they wouldn't let Mel sign in, they kept sending me stuff. I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Are you sure? Oh, forget it.
How many times do I have to say si? Oui. Acknowledged.
Hmm. Archaeologists discovered a 17th century quote unquote vampire child with a padlocked ankle in a Polish necropolis grave.
They really wanted to make sure that thing didn't come out of the grave.
The child was buried face down with a triangular padlock on its foot. And anti-vampiric burial techniques such as this were used across Christian Europe starting in the 14th century. Mm. Can you imagine basically charging someone's child between 5 and 7 years old of being a vampire? And
They're
putting
all
them,
demonic at that age.
wow, they are though. Kids are creepy, scary. I mean, I get that part, but to kill one,
So we have some developments. I don't know if you heard the little debacle of a adolescent decided to break into the local Speedy Q at
you told
3
me about
o'clock in the
that.
morning.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
a gun.
So developments are 12-year-old individual, male, contrary to everybody else's suspects of the pictures, but they were stealing vapes.
That's it. Just vapes.
Yes. Personal details are being, kept hush hush
Withheld.
while the investigation is going on, but
Yeah.
yeah, they were. I'm waiting for them to question the parents because there is absolutely no reason your 12-year-old should be out and about causing that kind of chaos with a handgun at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Ever, but especially at 3 o'clock. Do you remember? I don't know if you guys had them. They used to on TV say it's 10 o'clock. Do you know where your child is? They used to have those announcements on the TV channels. There was only like 4 TV channels.
I just saw thing. This writer posted the thing saying, "My daughter woke up at 5 because of the crows outside. She stuck her head outside the window and said, 'Mom, the bird witches are calling me.' And to sum up, I have my next book, and also I have the next book I'm going to write, and also I need to call a priest."
Got a new book idea, and now I need to call the priest.
It wouldn't be
Okay.
so like question the parents if the individual had just, snuck out and broke into the Speedy Q, but the fact that their kid had the handgun, like that's what I'm questioning is, why did your kid get a hold of the handgun?
How?
Well, our area is big gun. Every kid has
I
gone through
have the
hunter
right to
safety
bear
and
arms and the right to put them down where my kids could have easy access to them.
but
They blew their foot
most
off.
of
That's
the
a learning
parents
experience. They blew their foot
most
off.
of the
That's a learning
parents in the
experience.
area are also for gun safety.
Yeah. I mean, I was taught how to shoot at a young age, but
Yeah.
I was taught.
We teach our kids to shoot, but we also teach them how to keep them safe and that they're
Yeah.
not toys. And
That's how my dad taught me.
Yep. I mean, I started hunting.
But for every person who does it right, there's some idiot who does it wrong.
and even
I
in the
don't think
best
we
of
even kept guns
circumstances,
in the
accidents
house.
can
I think they were in
happen.
the garage. Well, until I was older. I remember my dad saying, "You know where 30 do you know where the bullets to 30-06 is?" Yeah. Well, 30-06 is in the hall closet. You know how to use it.
I have mine locked up, but Bill and I were talking in light of the fact that, this kid is 12 and obviously ours are not far behind and put them in groups and they turn even dumber than they are. We've been looking into safer ways of storing them than they're already being stored.
Remember one of my friends, my dad's friend, he lived in the Detroit River. That's all I remember. And he had this big walk-in safe. It was like another room full of different weapons, mostly hunting guns and stuff and knives, but it was huge. Called it the locker.
Vegetable
The door looked
stew.
heavy.
Chicken salads. I like chicken salad.
I like vegetable stew. Stone soup.
Bean fell out of the comments.
Oh no. Bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, ba, dum, bum,
I
bum,
know we're
ba,
so
da,
much
da, da,
entertainment
da, da.
today. Like
I know. Today's just one of those days.
I
I'm
heard
really
about
sorry.
your strawberry sea creature with 14 arms. I did
A
go back and watch
feather
the.
star. An Antarctic feather star, if you want to look it up. It was pretty cool. And they're big. I looked at it and I thought, oh, that looks like, like a microorganism or something. They're like, no, it's like 20 feet. I'm like, holy shit.
Well, there's so much of the ocean that we are never, ever, ever, ever gonna get to. So God
Mhm.
only knows what's down there.
But that thing it looked like fauna. It didn't even, or flora. It didn't even look like a creature. It looked like a plant. 20 legs, I think it said.
I has a notification. Anything good? Oh, my sister replying back. She lives over by Lansing, and a young man was sent outside by his dad to take the trash out, and his dad's like, "Wow, you've been taking a long time." So he goes outside to see why his child is not coming back in yet, and finds his kid in the back of a cop car because the police thought he was the suspect stealing cars. He's like, "My kid is 13."
You're having fried chicken with mashed potatoes and fish? Well, I don't usually mix that kind of stuff together.
I've heard of surf and turf, but not fishy fowl.
Fish fowl. I wouldn't do surf and turkey, but I am not big into lobster or crab or any. It's a texture thing. It's not a flavor thing. The flavor is fine. It's got like I feel like I'm biting into a stick of butter and I can't deal with it. I just
I
don't
had
like
a
it.
lot of issues with breaded versus not breaded shrimp because it felt like I was trying to bite into a finger. I've gotten over that now. I'll walk
I
up to my
started.
brother
I
when he's
started
got
with
a
shrimp
shrimp ring
cocktail.
and I'll just steal it.
Yeah, I started out with shrimp cocktail. So, and I
They had an
have had
odd number
escargot
and they
once.
were trying to figure out who was going to eat the last one. So, as the oldest, I had to take one for the team.
Of course,
And they just looked at me like, I'm like,
we get the
"Eh."
we get the last dinner roll too.
We get the nipple in the center of the big butter tub.
Mm-hmm. Because
We
for
were
some
fine
reason
and dandy being only children. It's not our fault.
it's not our fault. Somebody just not find a British shrimp. Oh, I love. I'm not a big person that likes coconut, but man, there's this place called Dixie's, and it's really hard to get in there. But they have some really great food. Like you have to stand in line forever, and they don't take reservations. But their seafood is so good, and they do this butterfly tiger shrimp with a coconut breading. They're phenomenal. I've
I
never,
like the
because I
big
got one of
shrimpies.
their sampler things and I got all this different kind of shrimp, and I'm like, I didn't even know where to start.
I made the mistake of introducing my kids to shrimp. Now we fight over the shrimp.
I used to make cod nuggets that the kids liked, but that's back when cod wasn't as expensive as it is. I'd get it on sale. I usually made tilapia in the oven, but I found some cod on sale and I cut it up into little squares,
I like cod. I like tilapia.
and then I dredge it in um, tapioca flour, and then I'd put it in an egg, and then I'd roll that in mashed potato flakes. and then I deep fry them. So it was like having your French fry and your chicken or your fish at the same time. It was good. They were really good.
We
Of
keep
course, all the
forgetting to fill
spices.
the propane tank, so we have not done any grilling this summer.
Mm.
Because hubby's like, hey, let's grill. And it's like, you got to remind me during the week so I can take it to the propane place and have them fill it up because it's only like $5-10 to fill it versus 20 to exchange it.
Hmm.
What happened on this day how many years ago?
I don't know.
This Friday the 13th, you will receive 30 seconds of bad luck. Back in 2021.
Oh, I'm like, but it's not Friday the 13th. It's Sunday the 13th.
I tried to get married on Friday the 13th. Bill told me no.
My friend got married on April Fool's Day, and then her husband cheated on her with her maid of honor that night.
I don't understand cheating. I really don't. How hard is it to be like, hey, we're not vibing anymore. I know it's going to hurt, but I think my life is going in a different
Or
direction.
even, hey, can I go have a fling? Would that really upset you?
There
People
are a lot of people who
try
don't know that they'd
poly.
be
Hubby
open
and I are
to it
poly.
until, the situation presents itself.
It really is less of a. Now, there's been some times where I would like, no, I don't approve of that one. Or I'd be like,
Yeah.
no. But at the same time, we're just open and honest with each other. It's just easier.
Well, if you have open communication with your partner, you know what's going on and it's mutually agreed upon whether it's going to be bringing somebody in, having an outside relationship or
The
trying
fuck
something
buddy.
new for a night. You just don't do it without, a conversation.
There's rules. There are rules.
Yes. Honey, I'd like a hall pass. Can I have a hall pass? I'll send you photos. You get to approve or not approve. Like, I'll keep you somewhat involved, or unless you want nothing to do with it,
I was
then I'll
just
take
gonna
it.
say, whatever way's comfortable. Like we got to meet them for drinks kind of thing.
If I gave my husband a hall pass, I need to see what he's working with because before me, it
Yeah.
it was hit or miss. When my father-in-law tells me I'm at least the pretty one, thank you.
But seriously, and they kind of had a poly relationship with her, but they went outside the relationship and broke the rules.
Yeah,
So
no, you got to
that
follow the
night,
rules. I think if you're not following the rules, it still falls under cheating.
yep, that's what I say.
If I was younger and didn't have, all of the adult responsibilities, I think I would go back to college and get a psych degree because I've really been finding fascination being kind of a therapist for alternative relationships.
Hmm. I was
So,
really good in Psych 101. My
a
psych
friend of
class.
mine's in a poly relationship, so
Hmm.
I've gotten to learn and most people are comfortable somebody within their own community, even if it's not identical to their situation, somebody who at least understands the dynamic you have going on. It's
You
a
can't hear
regular
us,
marriage
really? I have
counselor.
our stats on hot on loud. I'm sorry. I had to turn down my gain in my earphones at my console because it was too loud for me.
I don't know how to adjust anything. I show up and talk.
I push the buttons.
She does the buttons and the sliders and the DJ remix. Hubby's in the back with the
Wow, wow.
DJ Hubby. Get all your friends to show up and we can say sponsored by.
Wouldn't that be lovely? Actually getting sponsored.
I can hear clearly now, the volume's up. Maybe a mixed blessing.
The other day I was watching something on TV and it was like on 55. I usually watch things on like 15, you know, and I just could not hear it.
Mike Roku, I think they did an update to it because now it's like bigger than my screen and I can't adjust it. It used to be you could go in and then drink.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't have that.
I think it's old as shit.
Mine's old. My TV.
My TV is relatively new. It's
Well, I have a Roku TV in my room.
I'm thinking 5 years.
We have an old Roku that's much older than 5 years hooked up to the front room TV.
Oh, don't ask me how old the Rokus are. It's literally the cheapest one that you could get for like $20.
I think I paid more like 70. But it was a long time ago. I'm not sure if Liam was even born when we got the Roku, our first Roku.
I'll
Maybe.
probably start looking for a new one. And
mostly what I got it for is so when we were evacuating from Florida, we plugged it in at the motels so the kids could watch their shows. And I didn't have to figure out if there was anything on TV. Because with my children, it's just supposed to be there.
I like having all the apps in one place because
That's true too.
this has. I know for sure the TV has Netflix, but I can't remember all of the preloaded apps. The Samsung out in the living room, you can put just about every single app you've ever found on that thing, but this one's older.
Yeah, I've Prime, Amazon Prime videos. And then I have Showtime on that. I don't know how I got Showtime on that, but I'm good with it. I looked it up on my bill. I don't see it, so I'm good.
Maybe a promo or you've
It's
been
been
with
what?
us
It's
for
been a
like
couple years.
900 years.
I think it came with stars.
Oh. And then we got something else on there so that we could watch something. I don't remember what it was. That's usually when we add to the Prime is because we're watching something. CW, maybe? I don't know. Then
Maybe
we got
Paramount.
Max. We got Max. What did we get Max for?
Crap, what was it? Another show that was I think it was Teen Titans was the reason why I wanted originally to get it.
Oh yeah, it was Teen Titans.
And Paramount Plus was the thing that they got because I wanted to watch Picard.
Right. But I moved that over to Amazon because it was cheaper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we had gotten it as its own app, and then I looked on Prime, and they had it for a lot cheaper.
Yeah, I don't add anything to Prime. I have a very wonderful sister, and that's all we're going to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
But husband and I found a movie that we mutually agreed upon last night.
Oh,
Normally
really?
that never happens.
What was it?
Hidden Figures. The NASA Catherine Goebel, or her married name ended up being Johnson, but she was a woman of color who ended up doing a lot of the mathematics and figuring out how to make John Glenn's reentry into the atmosphere work.
Yes, she
Oh, I
when
watched
they,
that. I didn't know it was
when they were
called
doing
that.
the computers and stuff, when they was actually doing the electronic computers, they were checking with her to make sure the math was right. She was the one who error corrected the computers.
Yeah, because they had sent her back to her little area because they no longer needed her because they got the IBM up and running. And there was something that was just a tad off, and her math was actually like 2 or 3 digits past what the computer had calculated. But yeah, her, and they focused on a couple of other different women who made amazing strides in NASA in the early 60s.
Was Tom Hanks in it? Not Tom.
No, Kevin Costner
Kevin Costner. That's who.
and Sheldon, but I never remember Sheldon's name.
Yes.
Jim
I saw
Parsons.
that. It was good. I like the whole scene about bathrooms.
Yes,
It's what
I really like that he walked up there and then beat the shit out of the
Shit out of
signs,
it.
and he's like, "You
This is for everybody."
pick a different bathroom, preferably one closer to your desk."
But yeah, that was good. So was I finally watched The Help, which I wasn't going to watch, and I finally watched it, and it was really good. It was
The
really well written.
lady from The Help with the pie scene was also in Hidden Figures. She was the woman who figured out how to make the IBM work.
Right.
And Billy and I sat there the entire time like,
She was also in
pie.
She was also in what was it called? Self-Made. And that's about
I've seen her in a couple of things. She's really good. I like her.
A woman of color who basically starts her own business making soap, I think. I want to say it was soap. Anyways, it's really interesting, like the political and the financial and the family and the way things worked, and it's really a good movie. It was really good. Pardon me, big yawn.
There it is. Let's see if it is available. Ooh, available now on Netflix in case anybody was caring.
Yeah, that's
Nope.
what I thought. While
Octavia
I've been playing
Spencer.
Minecraft, I've been watching Supernatural, the first season of Supernatural again. It's the first time I'm rewatching it. So
in some way or another, I have watched the entire series. I've just never watched it from start to finish.
Yeah.
Bill's watched it like 12 times.
Pardon me. There was a time where I didn't watch it for the first like 3 seasons because I watched the first 2 of the first season and it didn't grab me. But then I saw a commercial for one and I'm like, I'm going to try again. And I started over and then watched them all.
Ooh.
Which show?
Supernatural.
Oh, yeah.
Are you still logged in, or do I have
A
to
girl
message
screamed in it
Nicole?
today as the littlest one passed by my desk and said, I don't want to know. Put his hand up in the air just like that. I don't want to know. I go, good. It's not for you.
I thought this movie was older than this. Wow.
Speaking of things, as time flying and stuff. Paul was just posting that Paul Taylor posted on Wapsie about the fact that school was starting tomorrow for where he's at, and that his son's birthday is this coming week. And I'm like, I remember the stuff they he talked about his kid a lot during through thing, and I realized this kid's a couple months older than Esme, than their middle child. So it's like, so this kid's going to be 17. It's like, holy shit.
We're getting old, honey.
Yeah.
Just the way it is.
That's just the way it is.
Back when Esme was born, I was over here dreading the idea that, oh my God, 'cause I was 2 months past my 40th birthday when she was born. I mean, oh my God, when she turns 18, I'll be 58. Now I'm going to be 57 next month, and it doesn't seem like that big a deal.
Never made a big deal to me.
Billy said they'd be pushing him in a wheelchair for graduation. I'm like, honey, no, that you'll be in a wheelchair if you choose to be in a wheelchair. Keep yourself moving. The kids will keep you somewhat young. Crazy, but somewhat young.
Oh, well, thank you everyone for coming out for Homespun Magic. If you want to join the table, you're more than welcome. You don't have to craft if you don't want to.
We share.
We share. We talk.
We're getting better on biting. Poking and stabbing is
biting is like kissing, only there's a winner. So we'll hopefully see everybody at 8 o'clock for Bitches with Switches Mario Kart. Okay? Love you. Bye.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you, and I think I'll have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now I know. Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right. When you came to me, oh I knew it's you.